So you did a comprehensive deep dive on this latest thing going on with these shafts that were found in the pyramids by the that radar, those space. What is it called? SAR? Or?
SAR, yes. Yeah, it's some kind of tomography.
Aperture radar or something?
Aperture radar tomography or something that the actual technical specifications doesn't go deep enough that it would even be able to pick these up.
So is this all some sort of advertising scheme?
So the guy that did it, his name starts with an M. You'll have to forgive me. I forget his exact name right now. But he's an Italian guy, and he's with a group of other academics in Italy. You can go check out the video that I put out about it that translates their press conference.
So did you get AI to translate the Italian?
Yeah, I know a little Italian to read it and translate it. So I went through and I did that, and then I touched up it, through it. And I tried to get to it as quickly as possible because they just released it the night before.
Oh, wow.
So I did that. And his reputation in Italy isn't the best. He's known as like the Stephen Greer, the shyster of Italy, essentially selling a lot of nonsense. Yeah. And we have Italian people jumping in the comments saying, you don't know the history of this guy. He's been doing this for years. He's been selling all this. So I don't know him.
What's his name?
If you go to my YouTube page, actually, it's right there at the top, and it's got the write-up on it.
Okay, yeah, I'll find it.
There you go. Corrado Malonga.
There you go. Pull something up on this guy.
Yeah, he's into all kinds of things, including alien abduction and all this. And I don't know the guy. I'm Italian. I don't know his material as much.
Right.
But I've been warned against him about his stuff. But without that, just looking at the evidence, it's not compelling to me. Not in the least. They did the scans. They published the scans. They're publishing more of them. But what they're seeing in the scans, and I go into it in my TikTok video about it, that like we know that the King's Chamber exists in the Great Pyramid.
Right.
They did scans on the Great Pyramid, and those scans don't even show the King's Chamber. So like they overlay it, and you can't even see the King's Chamber in their scan. Yeah, you can check it out on the actually
with the same exact technology.
Same technology. It was 2022 they published it.
Now, didn't they scan some sort of underground bunker and it was able to detect it, or some laboratory, underground laboratory maybe?
I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Okay.
So that might be floating out there right now, but I don't know about that claim.
Okay.
I do know that this type of technology, unless it's loose soil, it can only get a few meters, but certainly not, hundreds and hundreds of feet under the bedrock Giza Plateau to see these spiral chambers and shafts. And I'd love that to be true because I've been to spiral shafts that exist that are like that. The Well of St. Patrick in Italy, the initiation chambers at the Regaleira in central Portugal are shaped like that. It'd be cool if there was that's a Templar facility then in Portugal. It'd be cool if there was a crossover between the two, but I don't think there is. I think they put this through an AI to make a video rendering of what might be there, and it's not at all accurate.
And wasn't it related to some YouTube channel or something that put it out?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you could pull up my TikTok or my Instagram on that, and I show her. I think it's Expedition with Nicole Ciccolo.
Okay.
So you could pull that right up.
And then so she was in charge of doing like the press release for it, or what?
Yeah, and it's totally like a woo-woo, site. You could, actually, if you look up Expedition with Nicole Ciccolo, Ciccolo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, find Nicole Ciccolo on YouTube, Steve. So she's like a YouTuber who just does research on ancient civilizations and talks about ancient talks about Egypt.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it. You'll see. I wouldn't call it research. I would call it trying to sell new agey crap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's not a researcher. She's not. Here we go. Pull up her official.
Go to her YouTube channel, Steve.
And there she is above the pyramids.
So Expedition with Nicole Ciccolo. Yeah. Click on her bio. It's in a different language.
Yeah, but if you scroll down, it's a grab bag of everything you could imagine.
This is what people say when they scroll through our YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, mine too. Yeah, I shouldn't be throwing stones here in glass houses. But there's the guy on the right with the sunglasses. That's the doctor that brought this out.
Oh, okay.
And
let's check him out, Steve.
I've read a few of his.
It's not going to be in English. Never mind.
Yeah, I've read a few of his papers that were in Italian about occulty, esoteric things. And I don't necessarily disagree with it. He tends to agree with me about the pyramids being initiation chambers, things like that. But the scans, they just don't add up for me. They're not showing what I think they're claiming they're showing. So they might have done scans, but questionable veracity.
So they're just the ones that analyze the scans, or were they the ones in charge of doing the scans?
Yeah, there was a group of them. There was him. I think he led the charge to do the scans, and then he's got an archaeologist and an Egyptologist. along with him in that press conference that are trying to, one's the technologist behind the scans and the other one is the Egyptologist to say what that might actually be. He's claiming it's the halls of Amenti, which is like the halls of the afterlife, the Elysian fields, where you would, where your consciousness would go after you die. And that was always considered mythological. They're saying that the halls of Amenti are now underneath the pyramids and these big shafts go down to it. Anyway,
there you go.
Well,
no
halls of
comment.
Amenti. Let's ask Billy what he thinks.
Oh, jeez.
Good old Billy.
Is it Carson or Carlson these days?
It's Carson.
Is it Carson?
It's Carson.
You sure about that? You might want to check out
Tucker Carlson, Billy Carson. Oh, don't get me confused.
Karlson. There seems to be some controversy about Billy. Funny story about Billy. When Billy was talking, I forget if it was you that I stitched. Billy claimed it was either you or it was Joe Rogan. He was claiming that the Moai on Easter Island burnt down.
Yes.
And then I did a video standing in front of the Moai because we went there last year, and I was like, "That's not real. They're right here."
Really?
Yeah. We were there. Laura's probably laughing.
Yeah, he was explaining to me how I think multiple people said that to me, how there was a fire there and they shut it down.
Yeah, there was a brush fire. There's cattle ranching about a mile away. There was a rancher, and it got blown, and the brush fire. It's only like low grass. It's only like maybe 12-inch grass.
Yeah,
and
I was going to say, how do you burn stone statues?
But he was saying that like fuel was taken in tankers and they burnt the place down. His exact claims.
Oh my God.
And it didn't. It went up to the area where they were mining them out of the one crater, and you got a couple of them. They actually found one that they didn't know was there because the brush got burnt away. So they found one, but all it did was singe a couple of them. But there's hundreds of them on that island. So it's
wow.
But they didn't burn down. No, sorry.
Yeah, when it comes to the Egypt, those new shafts that they think that are down there, I mean, I wonder how hard would it be just to dig under that pyramid? It was under the middle pyramid, right?
Yeah, it was the center one.
It wasn't Cheops.
No, that wasn't the Great Pyramid. It was the center pyramid.
Right.
It would probably be really hard to.
I guess they were all on. It was Flint, and then this guy Jimmy Corsetti, and this other guy Dan Richards, and a bunch of guys were all on Piers Morgan debating this.
God.
And Flint was like, "You can't dig; it's sacred. Do not dig under the Giza Plateau."
They dig all the time.
I know, right? They've been freaking blowing it up with dynamite since the 50s.
Yeah. Oh, earlier than that, man. The entryway to the Great Pyramid right now was blown out by somebody way back.
And they're saying this goes like a mile and a half deep.
Something stupid like that, hundreds and hundreds of feet. Yeah. And then there's big stone coffers, stone chambers underneath of those spirals. And if you look at if you actually look at the scans, it doesn't show any of that.
No.
And you can look at the scans of the Great Pyramid, and the Great Pyramid scans don't even show the King's Chamber.
The SAR scans?
Yeah. Yeah. They put out a paper. They published one paper in 2022. I don't know if they published this study completely yet, but what they showed in the press conference wasn't convincing at all.
And you translated the whole press conference, posted on your YouTube channel so people can watch it.
Yeah, go judge the evidence for yourself.
And what did they have like an ultimate conclusion at that press conference of what they believe it is or what their next steps are going to be?
They think that it's the halls of Amenti and that it's
they believe
that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they believe it's that, and they need to push forward with it and get funding and all of this. I'm sure there's more. It was a 2-day thing. The second day, I'm not sure if it's been released yet, but the first day, their upfront conclusions, their get to the point conclusions was the halls of Amenti.
Oh wow!
Which is horseshit. It's like Plato's Atlantis again. We get right back to it.